Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc., home of Tottenham fans and apparently Bill Bauer and also Elche. We are hoping you're all happy, healthy, and doing the things up. But here we talk about all things football across the world, whatever's going on, football finance, VAR to PSR, and all the transfer news, views, and clues. I hope you guys can enjoy the show, and please do us a favor if you do, smash the like button for us, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, and drop them comments. Let us know your thoughts on today's comments, just on today's topics. Just quickly, guys, the choo-choo train can start whenever you like. We're always here for that. And also, if you are watching on audio, or listening on audio rather, or watching it on Spotify audio, then the links are in the description. Please help us get over there and grow those channels by smashing a 5-star rating. Jonny, lots to talk about today, mate. But before we get into football, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I said to you, didn't I, on Monday? It was such a quiet day Monday. We were always having to reinvent football transfer news, going over the old ground. But now some of the things that we were talking about and we were intimating could happen look like they could actually happen. And there's some more meat on the bone. Bournemouth getting goalkeepers, Liverpool, getting hard and fast with the striker business. Yeah, I think it's about to kick off. It really is. We're all back in pre-season training. Managers are looking at their squads saying, nah, we're in trouble. Clubs who thought they were selling to other clubs have now realised it's not happening.
Yeah.
Napoli, Brentford, Liverpool, Newcastle. So we'll be talking about that. But guys, if you're in the chat and you've just arrived, good housekeeping, please hit the like button. And if you're here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. When our journey to 4,000 subscribers, we couldn't do it without you.
100%. Thank you. Appreciate you all, guys. But I'll come through and say hello to everyone as we get going here. Jonny, first story out of the traps, though. I'm guessing everyone thinks we're going to talk a little bit more about Newcastle. And Newcastle will certainly play quite a big part of the show because there's a lot of other teams like Ollie Watkins and things. But before we get into that, let's talk about a little bit about Eberechi Eze. Apparently, Chelsea have entered the race for his signature. Arsenal fans think that it's a done deal. They're just trying to get Gyökeres out the way, get that one announced on Friday, and then next week move into finalising the Eze territory. I was listening on a couple of other shows, and people that were on those shows that claim that there's certain people within the Arsenal camps that they know who always seem to get it right, that were early on things like Declan Rice. They believe that Eze is a done deal to Arsenal. But the stories are out there this morning that Chelsea are not letting that one go and that they're really interested. And you have to kind of sort of shake hands with the story there a little bit. Like you play a lot of poker, Jonny, as do I. There's a phrase in poker when you're trying to bluff someone, right? And it's the story has to make sense. The story you're telling has to make sense. And if I'm entirely honest, the story for Chelsea and Eze does make sense. I think that there's room in there in that squad for an Eze to come in and be a rotation. Not necessarily sure it makes as much sense as Arsenal, but what do you think? Do you think Chelsea could come in and sort of hijack this one?
I think Eze, with the World Cup year coming into play, he's only going to want to go to a club where he's going to be playing regular minutes. He's not interested in playing as a rotational, coming in here and there to fill in when players are injured or to get 15, 20 minutes. He's used to, when fit, starting. I believe he walks into the Spurs team, personally. I think if he turned up at Tottenham, he'd be one of our best players, if not the best player at the time.
100%.
But Arsenal, a little bit more question mark about that. Is there more of a question mark in playing in the Chelsea squad? What I would ask is this payback? Could this be payback for Eze having been let go by Arsenal, his dream club as a kid, as a 13-year-old kid, and said, bye-bye, no, you're not good enough, you're not going to make it, and go to Chelsea? Or will he feel like redemption song, right, coming back to Arsenal, having been rejected and coming back and really doing the business? I personally think that as much as I have always wanted him to be at Spurs, I actually think that he's more likely he'll go to Arsenal. But you could definitely see him in a Chelsea shirt, 100%. No two ways about it.
Yeah, if you put yourself, if you are a Tottenham fan. If you were a footballer when you were 14, 15, 16, and then you got let go by Tottenham, and then you went to play for Palace, and then Tottenham came back in. How would you feel about it? Would you want to go back and play for Tottenham? Would you forgive and forget, or would you say, no, F you didn't believe in me? I think I'd forgive and forget and play for my boyhood club.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Nonny left just below 16. Otherwise, he would have classed as a homegrown for us. And I think had he left at 16, Spurs probably would have gone in for him over and above maybe Kudos in the sense that he would class as a homegrown, and Spurs really do need those, as we all know. But look, he's a class player, and I think whoever gets him, he's getting a fantastic asset. As I said to you before, Sean, for me, you get Eze and Mbeumo, then I think Spurs look different class. I think if Arsenal get Eze mixed in with Zubimendi, Goalkeeper, Mascara, Norgard, Kepa. I mean, they
can ride through any injury crisis, can't they?
I mean, honestly, they are deep, in the do. And you should know, as an Eche fan, that
is that how you pronounce it? Eche, is it?
Elche.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. Elche. Yeah, I did a bit of I asked Grok to summarise my team for me. I'm Elche CF fan. Summarise it, and it took about 10 minutes. It wasn't sure where to start, but basically, there's not a lot to go on, not a lot to run with. So,
if you don't know what Sean and I are talking about, you weren't here yesterday. We have decided that in each of the leagues, we will have a club for the season that we have to follow. And we spun the wheel, and I came up with Athletic Bilbao, which was blessed for me because I became a bit of a fan. And Sean got Elche. We'll be doing another spin the wheel tomorrow. We're not going to do it today because we wanted to spread it out a bit. Otherwise, it'll all be over in 4 or 5 days. We'll do the Italian one tomorrow. We're going Italy tomorrow.
I just really hope that Elche are going to do a bit of Sunderland on me. They're going to come up and have a crack, because if they're going to be rock bottom and go back down again, then I can't really say that I'll be Elche till I die, because
they'll be for one season. No, but listen, go back to the Eze story. I believe, like James is saying in the comments section, Arsenal must be serious contenders to win the title. And I honestly think they've got to be favourites with that depth of squad. And as we said before, Liverpool in attack, fantastic. But defensively right now, they're looking vulnerable. I'm sorry, one injury to Van Dijk or Konate and they're in trouble. Not good enough. Are you going to, just going back to Elche, are you going to Elche Millwall, or can you not make it, John?
I was thinking about getting a late flight down there and mixing it up with the Millwall fans.
Yeah.
I'm Elche till I die. Oh, I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm Elche till I die. Mate, talking about defensive frailties, we've spoken a bit about Liverpool for sure. We've also spoken quite a lot about Chelsea. And that I think, I'm not sure if you agree or disagree, but they're probably now like a goalkeeper and a centre-back of top level away from having a very comparable squad to an Arsenal, right? And one of the stories out this morning was really interesting, is that Chelsea are making a move for Kim Min-jae. What's your thoughts on that one? Kim Min-jae, he was 28 years old. Obviously, he's a physical specimen. I know he's a little bit injured quite a lot, but he's fast, he's strong, he's good in the air. He's had a good career, but do you think he'll go to the Premier League?
I just think he's too injury prone. He really is. He seemed to have spent more time injured for Bayern Munich. I remember when Spurs were linked with him, along with Kvaratskhelia, who ended up at Napoli. We were looking at him and Kim. I rated both of them, but he's just too injury prone. I can't see Chelsea needing to buy him. Look, they've got quite a few players they're going to trade out, Chelsea. We're going on about how much money they've spent. Yes, but look how much money they're going to be bringing in. I think they're better off with Kim from North Korea right now. I think he'll be more use for them at the moment.
A rocket up them, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Rocket Man. I don't. Not for me. I just don't see it. I think whilst Chelsea have one of the youngest squads in the league, they do need a little bit of experience. But I just not for me. Not for me. I don't think that's. I tell you what. One deal that has got done that we've spoken about for a while, and that is Georgi Petrovic has gone from Chelsea to Bournemouth for 25 million. Interesting, as we mentioned right at the window, that Bournemouth decided they didn't want to spend the 5 million on Kepa. They didn't see any longevity in paying 5 million for a goalkeeper that cost over 70. They were more interested in signing Petrovic for the 25 million. So they've obviously done, decent scouting on this. And you've got to say that Sanchez, before the World Club Cup final, or Club World Cup, whichever you want to call it, there was massive question marks in the Chelsea fan base, and not even in the Chelsea fan base, that he was not a good enough keeper for Chelsea. How can that one performance override everything else? Just the same as Ange Postecoglou's winning the final can't overshadow the 22 defeats in the season. I don't think that Sanchez's performance, and a fantastic performance it was in that final, can overshadow some of his calamitous goalkeeping. So that begs the question, Sean, if they can't get Mike Maignan, and Trafford looks like he could be going to Newcastle, or at least they're trying to, does that only leave the Aston Villa goalkeeper left?
No, I think that there's other goalkeepers out there that they could get. So like Diogo Costa, who's still at Porto. He's 25 years old, probably one of the best in the game. I think Porto would entertain a bid for the right level. They could maybe go for is it Gregor Kobel, the guy from Dortmund, 27 years old. He's probably sort of one of the top sort of 10 as well. There's a young guy. I mean, could you go? I think they made a mistake. They should have gone and got the guy from Liverpool before he left and went to Brentford, to be entirely. So I think he'll be a cracking goalkeeper, right?
But what a keeper he is! I really like it. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they could go and get that young fella from plays in Portugal as well. Is it a Benfica? Is it Trubin, the Ukrainian guy? Anatoly, I think his name is. He's 23 years old.
Can't remember any others, but I mean, what I'm saying is that they need to do some business, Chelsea, on the goalkeeper front. It's all very well buying 37 attacking players and having £300 million worth of sixes in Lavia, Fernandez, and Caicedo, but you need a couple of defenders and you need a proper goalkeeper. Darfarsha just said
that guy as well. Quickly, Kerbruggen, is it? Is his
Kerbruggen? Yeah. Good one.
There's options out there for Chelsea that are much better than Sanchez, in my opinion.
Darfarsha said that I should remind you, Sean, that Bilbao actually beat Elche 1-0 to send them to La Liga 2 when they were last relegated. I'm looking forward to that derby game. I'm looking forward to Elche Athletic Bilbao later on in the season.
Revenge will be sweet. Revenge will be mine. I have my vengeance in this day or the next.
I'm not sure if we could do a watch along, but it could get heated.
Maybe, mate. I've got my shirt coming. You got your shirt coming?
I've ordered
our shirts. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've ordered my Athletic Bilbao shirt, Atletico Bilbao shirt, but I couldn't bring myself to order the red and white stripe, so I've gone for 25-26 away. I'll be sporting it as soon as it arrives. I'm eagerly awaiting its arrival. It's coming from China, so it should be here by January, February 2026.
Yeah. By the season after next, you should be able to get it. Quick super chat from Ben Hart. Thank you, Ben. Says, love the content from you both. Big up the Elch. Big up the Elch. Yeah, look, listen, I might have to put a poll out there. Who are we rooting for? Of the 250 people that are here, are you rooting for an outperformance from Elche, or do you want to see Johnny's boys do it? Like, which side? By the way, someone put a message in the chat last night saying we should do a spin the wheel for
Members
for the fans, right? For the fans, so that you guys get to support a team as well. You know, let us know if you want to do that. Let us know, and maybe we'll get you. Maybe we'll get some DHgate classics and give giveaways out.
Alex, we've ordered our shirts. Not sure how long they'll take to come, but he's ordered the Elche shirt, and we've ordered I've ordered the Athletic Bilbao. Nordic Spur, are you suggesting that we should have a spin the wheel for Usyk and Dubois?
Yeah. Listen. We need a. We definitely. I think. Should we just quickly? Should we allow the fans? Should we allow the channel here to have? You've got your Bilbao. I've got the wheel picker still up in front of me. Shall we give the fans what they want? Should they have a team to support as well this season?
I think
that's what you want, guys. Let us know if so. We can do it. We can do it.
We need to do it in the members, because otherwise we're going to have people without, who can't get in.
The member. This is for the members. The members team is going to be selected right now. Okay, we'll do that right now. Just quickly got to do the intro though.
Step right up and take your shot. What's behind that mystery spot? Will it be gold or a tiny teapot? Feel the buzz, the room's alive. We could spin and you'll thrive. Spin that wheel, spin it fast. Big drinks turn while the moments last. Spin that wheel, spin it true. Fortune's calling, it's up to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the chat, who are you rooting for? This is your Football Inc. La Liga team of the season. Actually, you know what? I won't. I'll have to know if unfortunately Bilbao or Elche come up. I'd be unlikely if they did, but we'll remove it and we'll spin again. This is your team of the season, guys. This is the members' team of the season. There goes Bilbao. They're done. Valencia! For fuck, what? Valencia! There you go. There you go. Valencia is the team. Congratulations to the chat. Well done. You got a decent pick there. Fucking Elche. Absolute disgrace, Johnny.
I know. I fancy Valencia's chances more than Bilbao. Mind you, we've held on to Nico. The Nico brothers are still going strong.
Yeah. It's a local derby with Elche, apparently.
I've started eating a lot of Basque cheesecake, mate.
Nice. There you go, guys. There you go. That's your team for the season. Valencia is the squad, is the members team, and then I've got Elche and you've got Bilbao. Right, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Mbeumo, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about Mbeumo, because there's stories out from The Guardian. I'll bring it up on the screen to let you know that we're not full of rubbish. Manchester United's pursuit of Bryan Mbeumo has stalled because Brentford have raised their price towards £70 million. Ratcliffe's team values him at 65 and intend to be patient. Is patience a virtue, mate, or is it getting to the point of are they cop blocking themselves again here?
Let's be honest, they didn't even offer the 65, did they?
No, they haven't got there yet. No,
they didn't even offer the 65. They offered 55 plus add on, if they won the boat race and, some unsustainable bonuses. Look, they don't want to sell him, and he's got a long contract. And if you want to buy him, you got to pay. As I said before, I would really love it. Kevin Keegan love it. If someone came in right, and bought Wissa, and that stopped the Mbeumo deal in its tracks. We shall see. Look, Man United have just got to pay up. It's as simple as that. I know The Guardian suggested that fee. I think that, Ratcliffe is trying to play hardball. It's all very well playing hardball with your long-serving car park attendant and the tea lady who you've tried to sack and 460 innocent staff members that you've got rid of and the greats that you've taken off the payroll. But you want a top player, you got to pay for them. It's all very well desire. I want this and I want this and I want that. But unless you're going to pay for it, it's not happening. So I just, you're Man United, pay up, and they obviously don't have the money just yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we seem to be talking all day long about every day there seems to be a story bringing around, Garnacho's close now, or Sancho's close, but we're not really making any progress. United fans must be losing their mind. If Sam's in the house, say hello, Sam. Let us know, or anyone else is a United fan, let us know what your general stances are, because United just seem to be watching everybody else just go through the motions and just Manchester United came out the traps hot, right? And I remember Johnny, Tottenham were like, well, we beat United. We spoke about this ad nauseum leading up to the Europa League final, that it was a sliding doors moment for both teams. The winner takes it all. They can get back into the conversation, and the losers in a whole pile of trouble. And then United come out the traps and get their boy Cunha done early. And then Mbeumo looked like it was imminent. And Tottenham went in for him. And then all Tottenham fans were thinking, well, this is meltdown category stuff because we were the winners, not them. And United fans are saying, don't forget, this is Manchester United, right? This is like, no, there's never a dip. We're still Manchester United. But they really are. Pre-season starts in this week, isn't it?
Listen,
right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Man United suffered from premature ejaculation. What they did, they came in and they thought that they were selling. They did. Come on, they did. Right?
No, you're right. I didn't expect you to say.
They did. They thought they sold Bruno Fernandes for 100 million. They thought they were selling Jadon Sancho for 25. They got 125 million. And now we're going to buy Mbeumo. We're going to go for Goalkeeper. We're going for this one. We're going for that one. And you thought, you know what? Man United could be a dangerous team next season. And all of a sudden, none of those two deals didn't happen. And now suddenly they're scurrying around trying to save face and being linked with players like Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. So I think that I think they will find a way through. Yeah, I think Manchester United need to pay up or find the money, take a loan, get this deal over the line. I just think that's the one that they need. Because if they only do, for the next few weeks, Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, at least up front and attacking sense, they're looking very dangerous, even though their defence needs a lot of work done on it.
Yeah, 100%. What's the chances though? Do you think that this whole thing falls apart? Do you think it is it going to happen, but just going to be taking its time? And at the same time, it's like there's this opportunity for me. The opportunity cost here is unless United literally can't pay the money, unless they can't do it until they get something out of the way, then to me you have to start questioning whether or not, if they have got the money, but they're just trying to they're trying to nickel and dime over a couple of million quid. I know it's a new version of Manchester United. It's a new dawn. It's a new era where they're being a little bit more kind of, cost reflective, if you like. But they're missing opportunities, mate. One by one, the dominoes are falling elsewhere. And, United have still got more to do. They've got a lot of work. They've got to do something at the centre-back spot, surely. They have to do something at the goalkeeper spot, surely. And it seems like United are being this, we're being patient with Mbeumo. We're being patient with Sancho. We're being patient with Rashford, who we'll talk about in a second. But the argument should be actually, don't cut your nose to spite your face here. Like, don't miss it for a biscuit, and move one of these players on for a few million less, and then you can progress with your season's plans.
I mean, look, Brentford said come again, but unfortunately, Man United couldn't. So they've had to put it on. They've had to put it on a back burner. Look, I've got no empathy for them right now. It's their owner. It's their owner. He's made a rod for his own back. Be careful what you wish for. They had the Glazers and they brought these dudes in who haven't covered themselves in glory, Sean. There are other Man United stories out there. I don't know whether you want to...
Oh, yeah, there's one here for you. So Liverpool have discussed according to the Mail Sport, Liverpool have now discussed the possibility of making a move for Marcus Rashford. That's according to the Mail. It says, however, nothing has advanced beyond internal talks. I could not imagine a less likely story here. there's no chance that Rashford leaves United and joins Liverpool. Is there like the hatred between those two clubs? Who was the last player that was traded between those two? Was it Paul Ince?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. I can't remember off the top of my head. Sam, where's Sam when you need him? No, that's just Daily Mail throwing in some nonsense. I mean, there's clickbait and then there's Daily Mail bait. And that was one. Man United could be ready to lower their asking price for Alexandro Garnacho as they're keen to sell. Aston Villa are one of the clubs that are really interested, despite interest from obviously Serie A, from Napoli and the Saudi Pro League. But I don't know. I can't see it. The only other one that United seem to have some traction with, Anthony looks like he's going to lower his demands. They might get a nominal fee from Real Betis for him. But Juventus have made an improved offer for Jadon Sancho worth roughly 15 million euros.
Wow.
Which really, when you think about it, Chelsea gave them the 5 million fine. They wanted 25 million. So they're not a million miles away. But I think that's one that's more likely to get done, Jadon Sancho. As we said, they had interest from Turkey, but nothing happened there. Jadon Sancho wants to try to rekindle his career. He looks like he's going to go to Juventus. I mean, what a career! Like at that age, he's gone Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund, Juventus, and he's still only 25.
Yeah, and he's become less and less relevant as time's gone. It was more exciting when he was 17 than he is when he's 20, and probably when he's 27.
Yeah.
Pretty much too soon. Like the boulevard of broken dreams. Not that his dreams are broken because he's made a fortune, and I'm sure he'll be set for life. But if you're fortunate enough to have a career doing the things that every man or most men would lose a left arm to do,
or woman.
Yeah, we don't prejudice here. The reality is that. It goes past in a second, doesn't it? When you're 21 years old, you never think you're going to get old, Johnny. But like, it's one of those things where, like, all of a sudden, in my case, turned 40, and where's it gone? Where's the time gone? But he's pissing around with his arrogance and his ego, a bit like Marcus Rashford as well, and just letting it. And one day they'll probably wake up and go, should have focused more.
Listen, look, there's so many players. I mean, look at João Felix, again, only 25.
Yeah, another one. Great example.
Club to club, and still not doing it, and, having to send him out to market, dragging him around market, trying to find a buyer. People say we don't do enough clubs off the scale. Let's go to Celtic, right? I'll give you one for Celtic.
Do I need to get a Scottish segment of the show where we're doing?
Shin Yamada. Do you think he used to say off my shin, son? Shin Yamada appears to be on his way to Celtic after Kawasaki Fontale put some petrol in his engine and announced his departure from the J-League. That's the second one. Obviously, Spurs signed. I'd never heard of Kawasaki Fontale. I got to be honest with you, until Spurs made the signing. Now it's the second one that's coming. Maybe they're having a bring and buy sale at the moment. And
who was Ange Postecoglou in charge of?
Yokohama. No, was it Yokohama?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd heard of Yokohama, but only because I heard of the place. But I didn't know if someone had said, "What's Kawasaki Fontale?" I would have thought it was the name of a bike. I would never have known.
Two-stroke. 4-stroke 250cc.
So
cars and things.
Celtic have got a very good record of buying Japanese players and bringing them into the Scottish League. Brendan Rodgers, obviously, carrying on in the tradition started by Ange Postecoglou recently. What else have you got there, Sean?
I've got loads, mate. Let's talk about Aston Villa striker Ollie Watkins. He is on Newcastle's list of targets if they miss out on Hugo Ekitike. But there's other rumours today that Ekitike and Newcastle are progressing towards a transfer, mate. I've got to be honest, again, don't want to always bring this back to Tottenham, but I am a Tottenham fan, so I have to say this is one of those ones that annoys me a little bit because it shows you that there are those players that are in that sort of top tier. We've been talking about tiers of categories, tiers of players, that the 80 million euros, the 80 million pound type of players, whatever, that they're not going to come to Tottenham. They're not going to go to anyone but City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, whatever, or Bayern Munich or Juve. If Ekitike goes to Newcastle, Newcastle have really shown some ambition there, especially if it doesn't precede an exit for Isak. I know you've been mentioning this for the last couple of days. You don't think that there's any chance that Ekitike and the Isak deal are linked? And consequently, look, I think Newcastle United, I'll be so jealous if they can get that going. But I still make the sort of beg the question: there's someone like Newcastle United's revenues are still not that great. Excuse me, feeling really weird all of a sudden. They're not that great, and so how like are they going to have to sort of sell someone to make the numbers work here? Do you think, Johnny?
No. Liverpool. Look, I still believe, as I said all along, that Liverpool will go for Ekitike. I just think that it's going to happen. Newcastle can dance the dance, but all in all, the only thing that's stopping that deal happening is that now Napoli have decided they're going to pull out of the deal for Darwin Núñez. They said the price is too high and they're pulling out, which is going to throw a spanner in the works. But I'm sure others will come in. We'll also take him into the other section that we like to do on this show. But just latest up from the Athletics, just dropped just a few minutes ago that Liverpool have made contact with Eintracht Frankfurt over the possible move for Hugo Ekitike.
Mate, so just quickly, double down on that. Look at this. From Build, right? Build, take these guys seriously. Liverpool are toying with the idea of attempting to sign both Isak and Ekitike, which would cost, I think, north of, but £200 million. Can you imagine, Johnny, if they signed Isak and Ekitike? I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing? They'd be insane. They'd win everything, wouldn't they? They win everything.
Well, look,
League would be a whitewash.
Well, no, listen. Liverpool have been very prudent last season. Okay,
yeah, they have. Yeah,
very prudent. They're a big earning club. They were in the Champions League. We know they earned fortunes last season, winning the league. They're running the Champions League, not losing a game in the initial stages, in the group stages. They've got a lot of money to spend, and they've also got assets that they can sell. Harvey Elliott, Darwin Núñez, and if need be, Luis Diaz. Right? We know that Bayern Munich are desperate to try and get hold of Diaz to fill the Musiala hole that's there. But for me, Ekitike is Liverpool. He is so Liverpool. The pace and the counter-attacking pace of Ekitike linked up with Salah and the rest. And the thing is with Darwin Núñez, pace and strength, he got him into those exciting positions again and again and again, but he just couldn't finish his dinner. Honestly, his finishing was horrendous. I mean, there's compilation videos of his misses from just last season. And I really like Darwin Núñez. I think it's a shame, but I think if a deal is done here, personally, I think it's going to be done with Liverpool. Could you imagine Florian Wirtz with Ekitike and Salah?
It's game over.
I mean, well, I don't know if it's game over, Sean, because as I said to you, this is all well and good, but right now, Liverpool are struggling defensively. They've only got 3 defenders, centre-backs, that I can say are worthy, and that is Gomez, Konate with 1 year left on his contract, and an aging Virgil van Dijk. And if one of those goes down, they got problems. They need a Mark Gahey. So, I would think that the realistic deal here is Mark Gahey and an Ekitike, and see how they go with the sales. Just to go back, because we did forget something. We're reminded in the chat, and that's what you guys are there for. We missed the fact that Manchester United's very reliable goalkeeper has been injured again, and he's going to be out. And Man United need a goalkeeper. Will Chelsea go for Emi Martinez, or will Man United beat them to it? And that's why they can't follow through with the deal, because they know they need a goalkeeper more to find the money for a goalkeeper before they could ever find the money for Brian and Mbeumo.
Well, I think the goalkeeper's a bigger priority. So I think that they should say to Brentford, ball's in your court. We'll wait and see, but we're going to move on to other things and we'll come back later if Rashford's done and Garnacho's done. And I 100% think that they should, because I think that of the two clubs in the Premier League that need an improvement, I mean, Sanchez isn't that bad, but with Onana out injured for probably the first couple of months of the season, and they've only got, apart from the kid that they've got in the youth ring, that they've only got Alti Bayendir, who's just he gets lobs from corner kicks twice. Gets like back posted by corner kicks twice in about the same 3-week stage. Absolute madness. So yeah, I think that they should. I absolutely think they should deprioritize Mbeumo for now, whilst they're waiting for these deals to happen with their outgoings, and whatever money they've got, go and sort out Emi Martinez. Or if they wanted to go and get the guy from Brighton, or like I said, the names earlier we spoke about, the guy at Porto's a worldie. Mate, I just want someone came into the chat a second ago and said, any news on Leeds? So I've just I've had a look, because obviously Leeds finally got their deal accepted with Sean Longstaff with Newcastle, right? So that deal looks like that's about to happen. But Leeds United are also they're having a crack here, mate. They're having a crack, according to Florian Plettenberg, who's the German football guy. They are in negotiations, and it looks like a deal is very much agreed, or the personal terms are agreed, with Arten Stach. Or Stack, I'm not sure how you say his last name, but Stack. Sorry, not Arten, Anton Stach, sorry. Yeah. The Hoffenheim midfielder. And Plettenberg saying that's done. They are also, mate, going after that kid from Real Madrid, Gonzalo Garcia, the guy who scored 4 goals in the Club World Cup, the 21-year-old.
On loan, I think.
On loan. Yeah. Mate.
I think that's a good deal.
I'd be excited if Tottenham got him on loan, mate. No, like 4 goals in the Club World Cup, very highly rated in Real Madrid. They're not going to let him go. They want to let him go out on loan for a year and come back.
Very mobile. Yeah, what he does, I was watching him. Funny you mentioned him coming into Leeds. I was watching his movement and his, when to arrive in the box, and it was very, very good. Smart reading of the game. Just to add to the goalkeeper bits, I know we're going backwards and forwards. And
sorry, I
you guys in the chat, fabulous to keep us on our toes. Emi Martinez is banned for the first 3 games. But let's be honest, if Onana's going to be out for a good few weeks, they're talking about weeks, and they need a goalkeeper to last seasons, then I think they can forsake that, him being out there for three games, to make that a signing. But Garcia, going back to that, would be a fantastic signing. Another club really up, a club who's come in and spent over £100 million so far. And the club that we thought might be the most susceptible to go down, one of them, Sunderland, are now looking to try and coax Granit Xhaka into coming to Sunderland rather than going to the Middle East. And right. I think that's a great deal. I mean, he was absolutely outstanding for Bayer Leverkusen last season and the season before.
He's a good player for Arsenal as well.
Yeah, he's 32 and he's still got 3 years left on his contract. So I'm not sure, what Bayer Leverkusen would be wanting him. But I tell you what, Brentford might have got Jordan Henderson, but I think that Sunderland will be getting a better 32-year-old version for, a captain and a leader in Granit Xhaka. That could be the game changer. That could be the glue that binds all those Sunderland signings together. If somehow or other they could tie that deal up. But I'm very impressed with Sunderland. I've got to be honest with you. Yes, they used some of the money from Joe Bellingham, moved to Dortmund, but still, even allowing for that, they're showing real intent and some decent signings.
Yeah, they've signed Habib Diarra from Strasbourg, who I remember having to scout him on the Y Scout. He was someone that came up in when I was looking as like a DM, like a 6-8 hybrid role, whatever. Obviously, Y Scout can throw in some random players, and he popped up in some of my filters. This was about 6 months ago, maybe 9 months ago, and this is when he was 20. He's 21 now. Really cracking player, like a really good player, Habib Diarra. They paid 31 million euros for him. They've got Simon Adingra from Brighton, who exploded onto the scene a couple of years ago. Really interesting player. They paid 25 million euros for him. Enzo Lefebvre, I'm not so sure of. I'm not familiar with the AS Roman player, but they 23 million player of him. He's another midfielder. Then they got that Chemsdean Talby from Bruges, who's a cracking player. I remember Savra and I talking about him when the Bruges were doing their Champions League run last year, and he popped up with a couple of goals in Italy that put one of the teams out. Was it Lazio? I forget who it was. Not Lazio. Couldn't have been Lazio. Somebody else. But really good player as a right winger. They've also got Noah Siddiqui, who's another central midfielder. They've really stacked up on their midfield options, mate. Really stacked up. And they got him for 17 million. I don't know too much about him. He's come from Union St. Gauloise. If they go and get a Granit Xhaka as well, they are clearly a team that is sitting there going, midfield wins you matches, right? And all they need to get to 35 points, right? The 40-point line has not really been as prominent in the last few seasons. In fact, Tottenham only got 38 points last year. But if you can get 35, 36 points, you're in with a shout of staying up. And I think they've quietly put around was it Atalanta? Was it Foxy? Appreciate you, mate. Yeah, that's it. We
don't want to see. Look, as football fans, Premier League fans, I don't want to see a repeat of last season where we had 3 teams cut adrift that, quite honestly, might as well not been there. That's not what you want to see. Yeah, when your team's struggling and you think, oh, we're playing them and it's a guaranteed 3 points. Mind you, it didn't work for Spurs. We lost to Ipswich and we lost to Leicester. In fact, we got 1 point from Leicester and only 3 from Ipswich. It doesn't always work. But on the whole, they were poor teams. I was going to say here, there's another story.
Just real quick, sorry, before we move on from Sunderland, the other thing that I think is really impressive is that they haven't gone out. I know that Granit Xhaka and they were trying to get hold of obviously Jordan Henderson, which they're older players, but you need a bit of that. But actually, most of the players that they've gone and bought are 22, 23, 21 years old. So they're thinking about, like, they're trying to have a crack here where they're bringing players in. If they can do what Forest did a couple of years ago and hang around, then Sunderland might just be able to creep up the table over the next couple of years. And so they're not just thinking about can we survive? They're thinking about how do we survive and then thrive in 2 years' time. And fair play to them. Really impressed.
Have they struck lucky in the sense that homeboy Jordan Henderson was coming home and he did the dirty on them and did a right turn and went to Brentford, that now the door has opened for Granit Xhaka? I'm not saying that, but I think at his age and what he still offers and his legs, I think Granit Xhaka is better for Sunderland than
far
Jordan
better.
Henderson.
Far better, Johnny. But I would say that it's going to be difficult. If you're Granit Xhaka at your age, do you want to be part of a relegation dogfight? Maybe. I don't know the guy. Obviously, don't know too much about his character. But do you want to do that? Or do you want to go and get your paycheck that, looks after your family for the next couple of generations?
I think the project sold to him. Maybe it's a more exciting project than just going to Saudi or Turkey or wherever for a cheap payday. Yeah. One interesting one is that Manchester City midfielder James McAtee has come back. Representatives have come back from Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, they're obviously no deal done, but they're obviously looking to see what's on offer. And obviously a number of clubs are interested, notably, obviously, Nottingham Forest. And as someone said, we can't do without trees, but we can do without Forest. And right now, we can definitely do without Forest and Marinakis.
Have you heard the latest on that one, mate? Have you heard the latest that Morgan Gibbs White apparently he's now contemplating suing Forest?
Let it go.
The legal threats are going left and right and centre here, aren't they?
Let it go. He needs to let it go, right?
He does, yeah.
I think. Look, I think what's happening is he's just delaying times here while they find the replacement, Sean. I think that's what's happening.
Well, I think that's absolutely what's happened, mate, because it all like I just did a video on Sean on Spurs Talk Show, updating everybody in the Tottenham fan base around the latest that's out there. And apparently, the reason why they're furious is for two reasons. One is they didn't want to deal with Jacob Ramsey's move to Villa until they didn't want Villa to know. Like now, they don't want Villa to know that Forest have got a certain amount of money that's going to impact their ability to get that deal done at the right price point. But on top of that, Manchester City apparently had been speaking to them for weeks or months regarding a total package of £80 million for Morgan Gibbs-White that saw James McAtee moving in the other direction. So it would have been maybe like 50 million or 60 million plus James McAtee. And so now they are... now they're furious, basically because Tottenham have come in and just sort of ruined their mojo essentially with other deals.
They're going to try and offer. We're not trying. They are offering him now to other clubs. There's only one club out there which could nip in and buy him from Spurs, and that's Manchester City.
He doesn't want to go to City because he hasn't been given the minutes reassurance.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that would be the only one. I could see it happening to. Look, they're looking at a whole host of other players. They're looking at Vissa. They're looking at McAtee. They're looking at various other players. Whilst we're on the Manchester City's Nico Riley is having interest from lots of clubs in the Premier League and the Bundesliga. We saw him the tail end of last season looking really, really good. I don't know whether or not he wants first team football. So many Manchester City players have left over the last 5 years. You could literally almost make 2 Premier League teams up, and there'd be good teams as well with the players that have left.
Do you think have they let go of any players that would be in their Manchester City team right now?
Cole Palmer.
Apart from Cole Palmer, he's the obvious one. Apart from him, Pedro Porro, yeah, interesting, yeah, great shout. Let us know in the chat if anyone else has got any options. Any players that have left?
Liam Delap.
Do you think he'd be ahead of Haaland?
No, I think he'd be in the squad. Morgan Rogers.
Rogers. Fuck.
Douglas Luiz.
Frimpong. Jesus Christ. Frimpong as well.
Yeah. Keep going, guys. There's loads. You could, like I said before, I've said this before. Manchester City could almost put a team out. You could easily put out a team of players
that could actually win the Premier League.
Yeah, Ferran Torres.
That's wild, isn't it? They've let a Premier League winning squad leave their club in the last couple of years.
What's his name? The Barcelona centre-back. What's his name? Spanish boy. Oh, God, it'll come to me. On the other links. Oh, yes, Lavia only went for 100 million. Good play. Good thought there. I've forgotten.
He didn't go for 100 million, did he? They went for 45, didn't he? Lavia in the end?
Oh, sorry, yeah, but he'd be worth about 100 now. I'd
take Lavia. If he wasn't so injury-prone, I'd take him.
Lavia was big money. On other City news, Kolo Touré has now become a major member of the Pep Guardiola coaching team. He did his badges at Spurs, funny enough. Came down to Spurs, had a good time. You know, we taught him all we know, and now he's going to go back and use it at Manchester City.
And maybe they'll finally start to get a better record against us if he gives away all their secrets, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't Man City recently steal a backroom staff from Liverpool as well?
They're all at it, Sean.
I remember, I'm sure I saw Hussam calling the Liverpool backroom guy a snake on a show a couple of months ago because he'd left Liverpool and went to Manchester City. Let me know in the chat. You guys are more informed than I am on this stuff. A couple of more stories for us here, mate. The Brighton left back Purvis Estupiñán is apparently of interest to Manchester United and have held talks with his that's according to TalkSport, and they've held talks with his representatives. They face competition from AC Milan for the player. Are Brighton doing enough? Maybe we haven't spoken about Brighton very much, have we? Well, they haven't really done too much this window.
Don't worry. They're sleeping. You think they're asleep, but don't worry. They're well awake.
Yeah. Let me see what Brighton have done.
Up. Sure, don't worry about them. They'll pop up with the next 60, 70, 80 million pound player that we didn't even think about before. Ethan Nwaneri's contract deal seems to be edging closer. We've spoken about Eze. Mascara's move looks like it's almost is done and done. Medical due to take place today. And Arsenal also keeping a close eye on Rodrygo situation at Real Madrid. Do you think Rodrygo could go to Liverpool if they sold Diaz?
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Imagine if they went, you know what, Newcastle, we'll let you go after... Look, imagine if the 4D chess at play here was that Liverpool turned around and went, listen, Newcastle, you know we're Liverpool, right? And you know we've got money, right? We've got the draw, we're champions, and we're doing bits. we can go and get Ekitike. And we can make you an offer you can't refuse as well for Alex Isak. I'll tell you what, though. If you just let us have Alex Isak for 150, we'll leave you alone to go and get Ekitike, and then we'll pop across to Real Madrid to get Rodrygo. I mean, it would be a terrifying prospect if Liverpool next year go up against a team and they have a front system of Salah on the right, Rodrygo on the left, Alex Isak up the top, Florian Wirtz in the 10, Gravenberch, McAllister, and then on the bench, they've got like the quality on the bench is just as strong. It would be like, the only thing, you're absolutely right, mate. The only vulnerability that Liverpool have right now is an injury crisis at the back. But their current back four is still arguably as strong as it was last season. But if they get one or two injuries to any of those, and that's the vulnerability, isn't it?
Conte's gone, so not so much. Not so much.
Yeah, but in terms of what I'm saying, their starting 11. So like they've lost Trent, but they've replaced him with Frimpong. They've lost Robertson, but they've replaced him with Kirkes. They've still got Van Dijk, and then next to him at the moment they've got Konate, for example, right? And they've got Gomez behind it. But if they were to go and get if they were to have an injury to a Van Dijk or something, then there's problems. But if they were to go and if they were to go and get a Gahey, their squad is largely impervious then, isn't it? It's insane.
No, look, they've got the fantastic goalkeeper just come on, Mamashvili, but I think they need another centre-back. El Dante, I stand corrected. You're absolutely right. It wasn't Kolo Touré that was at Spurs. It was Yaya Touré. Yeah, Touré. So I got those two mixed up. Just flipping over to Barcelona, as you do.
As you do.
I mean, I don't know about you guys in the chat, but when I was 18 and I wanted a party, I went to a club, tried to find some girls, had good fun, got drunk. I didn't have dwarf throwing, right? This Lamine Yamal 18th birthday party is escalating. The news about and the details that are escaping from this party, it seems to be ramping up and getting the poor kid into trouble. I mean, if you were his age, do you think he thought to himself, I know what I'm going to do as an 18-year-old, we're going to have some dwarf throwing? Or do you think, I mean, who are the people that are looking after Lamine Yamal?
He's 18 years old, but like it's no different to about, I don't know, I reckon probably 300,000 men from England every single year go
out dwarf throwing.
go on stag do's in certain parts of the world where that sort of thing happens, right? Like it's not a big deal, is it? There's a whole economy, a little micro economy, pardon the pun.
Micro economy. Jesus.
I didn't mean it.
No pun intended, eh? Bloody heightist. Sean's a heightist.
Yeah, apparently so. So. Mate, we got too many more. We got some.
I got more, Sean. I got more. Bayern Munich. Liverpool received a £67 million bid, as we know, that's been refused. Chelsea are in talks over a potential move for one of our favourite Dutch players, Gerald Hatto. Though Liverpool are also interested in the £60 million Ajax defender. So says Ben Jacobs. But Chelsea are currently, to balance all this off, we're saying the buying. Chelsea are looking to sell up to 10 players this summer as the Blues are prepared to get ruthless with some big names. Christopher Nkunku, João Felix, Dewsbury Hall, Noni, and there'll be others as well, maybe Nicholas Jackson. So they're going to get rid of these players, raise a lot of money. It'd be interesting to see what their net spend is going to be. And then let's take you over to Como. Here's an interesting one for all you Spurs fans out there. One of our old Spurs favourites, Davinson Sanchez, is on his way, it looks, to Como in a deal worth €18 million plus add-ons from Turkey. Galatasaray, someone leaving Turkey. How unusual that one is. Juventus have agreed a deal to sign Francisco Conceição from Porto. Yeah, my pronunciation's on song today, Sean. I've been having pronunciation lessons. A 30 million deal is in place with the player. Only wants to join Juventus despite lots of interest from around Europe, which is an interesting one. Monaco are open to selling Breel and Brolo. But can we go to? I think we need the Turkey jingle, Sean.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're going to go over there now, are we? We're going to go over?
Yeah.
It's time. It's time.
This is the Turkey segment. The Turkey segment of the show.
Yeah, Breel and Brolo from Monaco is looking like he had a deal almost signed up just earlier with Besiktas. Now AC Milan are aware of the situation, but other Turkish clubs are coming in for him. So I'm not sure how that one's gonna run.
What's the guy's name?
Breel and Brolo, the Swiss international.
Brilliant Bolo. Never heard of him.
Yeah. Never heard of him. Plays for Switzerland, mate.
Okay. Well, I would say, though, whilst we're in Turkey, Jadon Sancho is, according to Yagosa Bunkoglu, who's apparently a big sports journalist on the YSTV, he says that Jadon Sancho is willing to move to Turkey if he can't find a team in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's demanding a salary of 13 million a year, which is 260 grand, pounds a week, £260,000 a week from Turkish sides. And Besiktas is not willing to pay this. His agent is in Turin for talks with Juve as he favours them. Jadon Sancho to Turkey?
No. Listen, we said this the other day. You know, when you go to your builder and you ask him how much to do the job and he doesn't want to do the job and he gives you a telephone number. Yeah. That's what Jadon Sancho did, and they turned around and said, okay, we'll play it. And so he then said, oh, okay, and he upped it even more. I think originally he asked for 10, 11 million net, and then he's asked for 13 million net.
Well, in Turkey, though, it's like, because they got that special tax bracket for footballers, that's probably part of the reason why that they can sort of figure things out that other clubs can't. Same with Monaco, right? Like, if a player wants 200 grand a week, then at Monaco, you only have to pay the guy 120 grand a week because it's tax-free.
Yeah, well, 100%. 100%. RB Leipzig look like they're going to complete the signing of Johan Bakayoko. Medical's meant to be prepared this week from PSV for a 5-year deal. And what else have we got? Oh, we got some Saudi news.
Oh, hang on a second. We're going to Saudi, are we, for the next segment?
We're off to Saudi Arabia for the next part of the show.
So, Darwin Núñez's deal to Napoli looks like it is off, which is like, come and get me now. Coming from Al Hilal and some of the other Saudi teams to come and get Darwin Núñez. I think it could be that the Saudi leagues are the only clubs potentially out there that have got the money to pay for him and would willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
how old is Darwin Núñez now?
He can't be old. What is he? 26, 27?
Is he even that old?
I don't know. He could even be 25. I think he's 26, 27. I might be wrong.
Darwin Núñez is 26. Yeah, 26. Okay.
Also, Benjamin Sesko. Now his deals have not materialised so far for Arsenal, for Liverpool, Man United, and all the clubs that were supposedly hugely interested in Benjamin Sesko. Could it now be that he does, in fact, end up going to Saudi? Look,
Johnny, can we just talk for? I know this isn't a Tottenham-specific show, mate, but there's a lot of Tottenham fans watching. I want to posit this with you because I spent last night on a late-night stream. There was no rows, but I think actually I managed to convince people to recognise my train of thought here, which was that spending 80 million quid on Adam Wharton. I know he's your boy. I know you love him, right? And I like him too. He's a great player, but 80 million pound you spend there is 80 million pound you can't spend somewhere else. We spoke about this yesterday. You agreed. I think we both agreed that it's too much money for a player that's played 22 games in the Premier League in his entire career. For me, if you've got 80 million to drop on Adam Wharton, I think you get far more value out of, even if Nottingham Forest end up cop blocking Tottenham, I think you've got far more value going and doing, rather than 60 million on Gibbs White, right? Just hear me out here. Walk away from the 60 million on Gibbs White. Walk away from 80 million. That's 140 million that you've apparently got to spend. How about you go and drop 25 on Douglas Luiz, 25 on João Palhinha? You've got a player that might be a little bit older, but then you've got a player that's like tenacious, fight, graft, grit, determination. And then you still have 70, 80 million left to be able to go and do the unthinkable, which would be to go and bring in Benjamin Sesko to Tottenham. I think Tottenham fans would universally be okay with the idea of Adam Wharton and Morgan Gibbs-White versus Sesko, Palhinha and Douglas Luiz. Wouldn't all Tottenham fans much prefer the latter than the former?
Well, I think, look, we need a 6. But, take me Douglas Luiz and maybe sell off a couple of players. Look, right now, Thomas the Frank Engine is out there checking out every single player. And he'll be letting the management know, look, this one isn't for me. He's not going to suit my system. Get rid of him, and bring me him and him. Let's trade those out and bring them in. We don't know who those players are right now. We're surmising that Richarlison will be one to go. It could well be. If we're going to spend more money, then I'm quite happy to have a 22-year-old Benjamin Sesko, but not at 85, 90 million that, some of the telephone numbers that are being branded about. I think.
Would you rather spend 85, 90 million on him or 85, 90 million on Adam Wharton?
Well, no, I mean, Adam Wharton's not worth 85 million. I'm just saying you don't pay 85 million for either of them. What I'm saying to you is that I think Sesko's price now is going to be determined with what happens with Ekitike, Goalkeeper, and Victor Osimhen and the other deals that are being done right now, I think.
I think you should get in front of it all.
Well, I listen.
Don't wait for the price to be set elsewhere. Set the price yourself.
Yeah, but I think they want 85 million. I think that's way too much, Sean.
For Sesko?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Come on.
He's an absolute...
I'm not saying he's not
so good. He's so good.
Right. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think right now he has not achieved enough to warrant £85 million. That's just my opinion. I might well be wrong.
I hear you on that. But you're right. The market's saying
overexcited. We like a name. He sounds Ninini or Benini.
Yeah, right? If his name was like Alan Smith.
George Smith. Yeah, George Smith. It doesn't sound right. We're going to sign George Smith for 80 million.
I hear you.
That's all. We get a bit carried away, romanticized with it all, but not for me. No. A bit of news from Real Madrid. Alvaro Carreras coming back to Real Madrid means everything to me. I only wanted to be here. that story of how a kid started off at Real Madrid, then went to Man United, ended up at Preston on loan, and is now back at Real Madrid. It's like quite a crazy story. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Have we got any cop blocks, Sean, this week?
I
don't think we have today.
I don't think we've got any cop blocks not for today necessarily. No, I don't think so. Just the
usual.
same old names.
Just the usual.
Just the usual names. There's not really too much to go on there.
If you're in the chat, and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. And if you're here for the first time, please hit subscribe.
Johnny, just real quick. Are you saying that not that the player's bad, but as a value for money, are you telling me that Benjamin Sesko is a pothole?
You better watch out for the pothole, 'cause it's something to avoid. Don't ignore all his issues. Don't ignore all the noise.
He's a pothole. He could be something to avoid. Yeah. We're going to have our pothole section. Pothole section for you guys who haven't worked it out yet are players that maybe we should avoid. Look, he could be great, but right now it looks like the biggest clubs in the land are avoiding him, and he could be the pothole. He could easily be. We shall see. We shall see.
He's with you on the pothole thing there.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying he does not warrant with what he's doing right now. Can we have a Babe Station section? Dear.
Maybe. I'll have a couple of vodkas later on this afternoon, and I'll get creative with my sections.
Yeah, the pothole section will be one to avoid, and we'd like you to refer to that in the group chat as we come through the season. One to avoid. Guys, as I said, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, and you please hit it. And if you've here for the first time, and hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening on audio, guys, I've only about 6 of you who I know we've plenty of people listening, but only 6 of you have hit the 5-star review or actually given us a review so far on the Apple podcast. You're doing better on the Spotify. So if you go down there, you're walking your dog, walking the kids to school, or taking the wife out for a walk, or husband, please hit the review button and drop us a comment. I don't think there's anything else, is there, Shawnee?
Perfect time to round it off, mate, to be entirely honest. I think it's been a lively show, a lively day, but I'm sure there's more to come. I think the noise is there's a lot of stories that are waiting. They're all waiting up in line for the dominoes. In fact, there's going to be a domino segment. I can already see it in my mind, and I'm going to be bringing that to you guys tomorrow. But I think right now, mate, it's about time to say goodbye. So I want to say massive thank you to all of you for smashing the granny, smashing the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Audio, please, as Johnny said, do hit the follow and the 5-star reviews. Links in the description. Johnny, what's up with you for the rest of the day, mate? Are you doing anything? You're out anywhere?
No, I'll be back later should a big bomber drop. But tomorrow, guys, come down and we're going to be spinning the wheel tomorrow for our Italian team. Not sure where it's going to drop, but that would be worthwhile. Guys,
if I get another absolute snake of a team, I'm gonna walk away from this channel.
Could be Como covered. Listen, guys, honestly, thanks so much for all the comments in the chat. We really appreciate everything you do to support us. Couldn't do it without you. And hopefully the channel will keep growing. We've got lots in store. I'm going to start a Football Link Fantasy Football League.
Yeah,
I'm going to set that up, and then we'll drop in the link for you to come and join the league. We'll do that over the next week. I think Delhi is still at Como, El Dante. If he's not out doing modelling and buying some clothes, they just need to focus on the football. These guys, him and Basuma and other players like that. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thanks everyone.
Thank you so much, Bobby Spurs, for the super stick. I just saw that come in late a minute ago. And also, Dan, I didn't see it, mate, earlier on. Thank you very much. And thank you to you, Ben Hart, as well. See you tomorrow. Johnny, I'll let you say it's goodbye from me today.
Well, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from this guy. See you soon. Take it easy. Thanks, everyone. Ciao.